Looks like Elliott Sadler chose the inside, Rick.
Green flag back in the air. We're back underway.
I think that was a fairly easy decision for him, considering who was right behind him. Stay right in front of Ron Hornaday for about 70 laps or so, wouldn't he?
Yeah, they did it for the first 20 laps anyway.
Jason White with a good restart as he's challenging for the lead on the high side.
There's a little help from a guy that knows his way around this racetrack. Todd Bodine in that number 30 white Geico Toyota.
Todd Bodine all the way from the 15th starting spot up to the top 5, and now he's going for second, pushing Jason White to the lead.
Jason White takes the lead away from Elliott Sadler, and Todd Bodine goes with him to take over second.
I bet you Elliott and Hornaday said, now how'd that happen? Last restart went perfect.
I tell you, Todd Bodine pushed Jason so hard by air that they were both able to clear Elliott Sadler before they got to turn 3. Look at Kyle up high.
We've seen this before. Kyle Busch needs to get by trucks. Well, he'd have to go by him about 19 times to get back on the lead lap, but as a racer, he's going to go by trucks as many times as he can.
He wants us to talk about how fast his truck is. That's A, he owns it, so he's like, y'all, look at what I got. Plus, I'm not convinced he doesn't think you can't pass him 19 times.
There's his teammate. He's going to push him by Eric Almirola, and I literally mean push him by Eric Almirola.
Remember, these bumpers don't line up. He is bump drafting with his teammate Taylor Malsom, but he's also lifting the back end of that truck up every time he hits him.
Taylor just upped his game a little bit, don't you think? Oh, shoot, the boss is behind me. I gotta go. I better get on it.
Step up this game once again.
Great side-by-side battle. There's Mike Skinner, the 5 on the outside. Rick Crawford, the 14 on the inside. Rick, a former winner here back in 2003.
That side-by-side battle was for the 7th position. See your trucks up front, top 3 in line down on the bottom. Ricky Carmichael running 4th. They start to line back up again, and everyone jockeying for position close to that yellow line.
Max Pappas and looks like Todd Bodine are up on the outside trying to make a little ground. That's the Germain Toyotas with Geico on the side of them.
Max has been impressive this entire race, and what a great week he's had so far. Raced his way into the Daytona 500 tomorrow.
Another guy that's excited is our pole sitter and now race leader, Jason White. Adam.
And Rick, they continue to coach Jason on the radio. They just told him what his gap was to second place Elliott Sadler, and then they said your truck pulls out really good, but you got to be careful with that. Michael, we know it's tough in the draft at Daytona, but how difficult is it when you're the driver out front?
Well, it's really difficult because you're trying to temper what you just said, Adam. You don't want to get too far ahead, so you roll off the gas, and all of a sudden the guy in second anticipates what you did, drives around the outside of you, brings half the field with him. So playing with that throttle, not getting too big of a lead is a very, very tough to manage.
Elliott Sadler takes the lead back now with the help of that 30 truck of Todd Bodine. And how about Max Pappas making the move right behind him in the 3rd position?
Great run for Max. Great week for Max, just like you said, Phil. It's the Daytona 500 that man's in. I think the 2nd Italian, he and Mario Andretti, maybe the only 2 ever to be in the Daytona 500.
And Mario did pretty well here.
Mario did pretty well all over the world.
Yeah, the world, actually. He won this Daytona 500 back in 1967.
Oh,
Jason
look at that.
White not able to hold it on the yellow line. Here comes Ron Hornaday to the inside, 3 wide.
Don't want to be in the middle.
Johnny Benson looks on the outside of Jason.
2 distinct lines, inside and outside. Here's Rick Crawford's Ford onboard.
These guys are mixing it up.
Here's Nelson Piquet Jr., my spotlight driver, on the outside. He's raced his way up close to the top 10.
Comes Timothy Peters.
Timothy Peters can get it done whether we're at Martinsville on a flat half-mile or here in Daytona. He was the breakout guy of the year last year, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. What fun it was to watch him break out, too.
He's running in the 4th spot, that number 17, K&N.
Guys are running up the hill a little bit. That's a little bit uncharacteristic from what we've seen here in the past. Hornaday said, we're supposed to be on this yellow line, guys.
But his teammate is running up near the wall.
Oh,
now, Here comes Todd Bodine looking to the inside, trying to make the pass. He brings Skinner along with him. They're going to hang out the number 2 of Elliott Sadler.
He has a slew of Toyotas behind him. He's got 4 Toyotas lined up behind him. One of those being Kyle Busch's.
Yeah, Chevrolet has never won this race in the 10 races we have been here, and it looks so promising early with Elliott Sadler and Ron Hornaday running up front, but here comes the Toyota parade.
Oh, and Mike Skinner decides he wants some of that lead. He goes around the outside of Todd Bodine. Skinner started 20th, and he's running first.
How about the 18 of Kyle Busch? He is pushing trucks around this racetrack. He pushed Timothy Peter in the 17 up to the 2nd spot. So Timothy Peters now running 2nd at Daytona.
How about Hornaday latching onto the back of Kyle Busch? He knows where Kyle Busch wants to go.
Todd trying to side draft with Kyle Busch. Here comes Hornaday up behind the 18.
Here a little bit of a bump there. Sound like Max might have got on to Todd.
Look at Kyle.
Kyle to the outside. It looked like the 17 got a little bit loose. Maybe had to check up a little bit.
Wow. Look at these trucks bounce around off the corner.
Sideways. We run enough laps now, Phil. We're, like I said earlier, running around on that yellow line isn't a gift. You got to work your rear end off to keep your truck down there.
Side by side as they go across the stripe again. Kyle Busch 18 in that 18 is 19 laps down, involved in the incident at the first lap.
Not anymore. He's not.
He's 18 laps down as he goes by our race leader Mike Skinner.